Hello and welcome to 5 Strange Paranormal Videos Real vs. Real Part 9. Today I have decided to return to the highly loved series of Real vs. Real. For those of you who are new to my channel, this series is where we look at a few of the better videos on the internet and see if they are real as in genuine or real like a movie, or fake. With our video, we seem to have a bit of a theme that I didn't even realize until I started to categorize each clip. It seems outside of one of the videos, they all involve creatures of the Fae. Honestly, this wasn't intended, but apparently this is the topic that is subconsciously on my mind at the moment. As always, I like to point out that the following are only my personal opinions, and you may look at these differently. So, without further ado, let's get into the clips. Strange creature. I am starting off our video with a clip that has been making its rounds on the internet and social media. To be honest with you, this is probably the weakest of the topics we're going to talk about, hence why I'm putting it first. The clip you are about to see was recorded on a motion-activated camera outside the home of Vivian Gonzalez in June of 2019 in La Junta, Colorado. So, here it is. A lot of people claim that this video shows what appears to be a creature, much like the one found in the Harry Potter series known as Dobby. But what are we really seeing? It certainly has a strange head and is moving in an odd way. At first glance I was really confused as to what I was seeing, but then I dug a bit deeper and found something interesting. A lot of people say that it appears to be simply a young kid with some type of clothes, mostly underwear, on his head. And thinking about it, it really does. When we look at who lives at the house, we find it is Vivian and her very thin 9-year-old son named Bobby. Not only this, but in images of where the camera is placed, you see it is right outside the front door of the property. Adding to this, if you look carefully at the clip, just before the creature emerges, you can see the shadow of what appears to be the front door opening and closing. This can only mean this being physically opened the door and left the house. I have seen some people argue with it being Bobby since the footage was, in their words, taken late at night. If you read the story, the footage wasn't taken late at night, it was around 9 o'clock. Not only this, but I found zero footage where this being actually left the property. It simply started walking down the driveway and the film abruptly ends. This leads me to believe that the boy didn't want to leave the safety of his home. Yes, this footage shows someone very skinny, like Bobby is, and it moves very strangely, like quite a few people can. Also, in interviews, both mom and son look very nervous when asked if it was a hoax, but all the while they were quick to monopolize on the encounter and get t-shirts printed up. I read into that too much, since I can't find where they are selling them, so the jury is still out on that one. What I can say is that I'm ruling this, obviously, real. Once we have the facts, I can't see anything being shown here other than a hoax. When an elf visits. The next clip comes from a homeowner on tribal lands in Saskatchewan, Canada. It was originally uploaded to the YouTube channel named Gwendoline Severight on May 2nd, 2020. According to the story, the two people in the video originally went outside to try to scare away some cats that have been frequenting their property. Their goal was to drive them away using a spotlight, although when they went out, they found more than they expected. I looked into this channel and it appears to only have 10 videos, with some really random topic matter. I don't want to be too harsh here, since it appears the channel is uploaded with clips recorded by the family's young daughter. However, the one I just showed you was obviously filmed by the parents, since they are the only voices you can hear in it. Well, you weren't able to hear anything, since I had to remove the audio due to an AC/DC song playing pretty loudly in the background. What you didn't hear was a lot of nonchalant talking about seeing what they say could be an elf, and then a little overreacting of, "What is that?" Okay, let me get down to brass tacks here. From the word go, the whole video didn't seem like anything to me. It simply looked like a little girl in a pink or red hooded coat standing by the rock. They claimed to be trying to scare away cats, but it was obvious with where the light kept being focused that they were expecting something to show up there. We could go into the whole mythos of elves being around, but it isn't important here. Especially when you zoom in and for a split second you can see an arm push the girl to standing outside of the rock, and then a second later you can tell the same person is literally pulling the girl back. She doesn't walk back behind the rock, she is quite obviously pulled. From what I could gather from watching their other videos, the household consists of a man, a woman, a very young boy, and a young girl. In this video, as I stated before, one of the only ones uploaded that wasn't recorded by one of the children, suddenly it is the adults behind the camera, and there isn't a single sign of either children. Well, I guess they are behind the rock. So without dragging this out, I'm ruling it real. I do feel bad about debunking this one, since to date it is their only video that has garnered more than a handful of views. I am assuming it was their attempt to get their channel to gain some traction in this crazy world of YouTube. I can appreciate the hustle, but at the end of the day, a hoax is a hoax. Just to be clear, had the little girl filmed and uploaded it, I wouldn't have talked about it. But since the parents did, then it's fair game. What happens on the trail? The next clip was one that I actually first saw on the show Strange Evidence from the Science Channel. I prefer the show What on Earth since they actually investigate topics, but with Strange Evidence they have on more than one occasion showcased videos that are well-known hoaxes, but they fail to mention that. With that mini rant over, this clip was uploaded on March 22nd in 2017. It was taken by some bike riders from Banda Aceh in Sumatra, Indonesia. So, here we go. When I was younger, I used to love to ride my dirt bike in the woods, and I can tell you, I saw some really odd things. But nothing like this. Now, what many of you may be confused about is that people are baffled with how small this person appears to be. When it runs off the road, the grass is above its head, but when the riders check the area, the grass is about chest high to them. Now, everything seems legitimate with this video, especially with the area at one time having a known population of people known as the Monte tribe. These people are thought to be extinct, but they inhabited the dense forests, and all of them were very short, which fits this sighting. In saying all that, I do have a few issues with this video. The guy who chases the person down is really close behind him, but even though this being is running in high grass, you don't see any of it moving. Not only this, but at various times the camera is pointed at the very muddy ground, and no footprints can be seen. It is possible that they weren't looking in the right spot, and in that moment the bikers may not have been thinking about looking for tracks. I wanted to at least mention that. When entering the grass, the one guy picks up a stick, which in how he acts at the end leads me to assume it was the same one the being was seen holding. I find it odd a forest hunter would drop his stick, but it could happen when in a rush to get away. What I do find odd is that when the person is running with the stick, it seems to fit his size, but when the bike rider holds it up, it also seems to fit him as well. One of my biggest curiosities is why the rider with the GoPro on his helmet also packed a camcorder with him. Not to mention that every time we see him holding up the camera, as if he was recording, the viewfinder appears off. I assumed it could look dark due to bright light, but when we first see the viewfinder, it is so black it is reflecting the image of the guy holding it. Some may say he had it off. Admittedly, I am not real familiar with camcorders, and I always thought the viewfinder was on if the camera was on. However, near the end, we see the rider adjusting the angle of the viewfinder like he was looking at it, even though it doesn't appear to be on. Playing devil's advocate, the camera could have belonged to one of the other riders, since we never see where it comes from. I have held off on saying this, but the biggest piece of damning evidence is the video was uploaded by a channel called Fredography. Many have taken this to mean that he specializes in digital manipulation, but in looking at his other videos, I don't see anywhere that he used CGI. They are all clips of him filming his adventures. So, with all that said, I'm ruling this real. There are issues with the clip, but in reading about the story after the clip was uploaded, the Czech government, along with the Ministry of Social Affairs, actually sent out investigators to try and locate the person in the video with the hopes of finding the long-lost Monte tribe. So, if they took it seriously, then who am I to disagree? The Big Bad Wolf. The next video we have was live streamed on Facebook by a user named Unique Legacy. I couldn't find an exact date, but it was uploaded sometime in 2018 near Port St. Lucie, Florida. Apparently early in the night, Unique was outside when she saw something moving in the forest behind her house. Unable to get a good look at what it was, she took a picture of it, and when zoomed in, this is what was seen. At first, it doesn't seem like much, but how about now? Still not clear? How about this one? That certainly looks like a dog man looking out from the trees. After seeing this, Unique went to Facebook and started a live stream about what had just been captured in the picture. After a while, she got up the nerve, still while streaming, and saw this.
That's my backyard. I'm zooming in a little piece. This is the exact spot that I just...
This is really odd, but to be honest, if I didn't see the wolf picture first, I would think the clip showed some type of large bird. What really adds to this is that apparently this same user has claimed that she has seen other werewolves, as she calls them, since then, and they are of various sizes. I don't have much to go on here other than a picture and a short video clip. As such, I am stating this is real. However, in saying that, I firmly believe there is something there, but is it a dog man? That I'm not sure of. The way Unique is acting doesn't seem like an act, and if you watch the full clip, including the before and after live stream, I firmly believe that this wasn't a hoax. Yet, I am not certain it was a werewolf. The photo is interesting, but it could very easily be a trick of the eye. Had the image not been manipulated, would we still see a dog man? Now, with the clip, many say it was simply cigarette smoke, since Unique is frequently seen smoking on the live stream. I don't agree that it is smoke, with how it moves, but again, I still feel it seems almost bird-like. Some have manipulated the image to make things clearer, and it does look wolf-like, but is that because I'm expecting it to look like one? Although, to justify this, there are numerous sightings of dogmen in Florida. So, who knows? I am defending this ruling of the clip being real, based on the idea of something obviously strange being present, but I'm not sure what exactly that is. What do you see? Forest Warrior. Okay, here's a really fun one, but it is also very intriguing. I actually have 2 clips to show you that come from a YouTube channel called Erwin Saunders from the UK. I don't want to spoil too much, but his whole channel is entirely devoted to the types of clips that you're about to see.
Yeah. Oh. He was just there. Ah, you see? That was a quick glimpse there. Hmm. Okay. He's not there. Oh, sorry about that. He was doing. Oh, there he is. Okay, let's. There. Ah, well, at least we've got a shot of one. We'll just keep it up there. So that's it for today. Mainly because I'm too hungry and I need to go and eat something. Sorry, but I think there's one up there, but I can't get. I don't want to. I just need. Yeah, I need to get some more energy and then come back out when it's another day. Ah, he's got my. Look, right. Look at this. Hold on. My sandwich. Very, very tempted to go and get that from him.
Okay, now that you see why I wanted to stay tight-lipped about this, I can give you some information. There isn't a whole lot of background information to be found about Erwin Saunders, in that, outside of these videos, he doesn't have a digital footprint. I fully expected to see an IMDb credit or something like that. The only thing there is to be found is a user-created forum devoted to his videos. This forum doesn't appear to be something that is directly tied to Erwin, in that he didn't make it. After reading 4 pages of posts, it generally seems like a good-natured community who are welcoming of his videos, but are baffled if it is CGI or a real sighting of a mythical creature. Let me be honest here. After watching many of Erwin's videos, I'm a fan of him. I love how he approaches the topic. I enjoy the way he seems somewhat uncomfortable with being in front of the camera, and his lore on the, as he calls them, Morsu Pixies, is interesting. He genuinely seems like a nice guy. Be it as it may, it is my task to say if the videos are real or not. I appreciate that he treats the videos like a hunter of hidden creatures should, while staying still for long periods of time and trying to keep noise to a minimum. Unlike how the claimed Bigfoot hunters act on TV when they start hooping and hollering and stomping loudly through the forest the moment they hear a twig snap. I appreciate him acting like a hunter should. Okay, even though the forums are full of people claiming that if he used CGI, it is excellently done, I can't help but note that something with the supposed pixies seems off. The way that CGI always does when something is added to the real world. It does look good, and I like how, if it is CGI, that the creature looks around rather than just showing up, staring at the camera and slinking away. Although, it does look like a superimposed capuchin monkey. Another thing is that while Erwin acts like he is alone when filming, a few fans have caught reference to a mysterious person named Tom. Many believe that Erwin serves as the charismatic presenter while Tom does the editing. There isn't any proof to this theory, but it is thought-provoking nonetheless. In the second clip I showed you, I like how he was going to randomly end the video, and even dismissed further pixie sounds, but then randomly has his camera pan over to see his sandwich being taken. The whole thing feels very natural, but the sandwich being pulled into the hole, it looks fake. I won't drag this out any longer. I am saying this is real. Even though I think the whole thing is a ruse, I think a lot of the supposed cryptid and ghost hunters on TV need to take notes on how Erwin does it. Believable and down to earth. I fully think these videos are fake, but still think that if you decide to check out his channel, you won't be disappointed. And I know I will be returning. So as I end this video that is a bit longer than I usually make, I hope you enjoyed it. I kept wondering if I should just make this video about the Fae and remove the Dogman part, but I felt that was an interesting story. As always, I am curious if you saw something I didn't, or did you agree with my decisions? I always appreciate your input in the comment sections, and I am always fascinated with how much you manage to see that I totally miss. If you haven't yet done so, do please consider subscribing to my channel for more content like this. Also, it would be greatly appreciated if you would share my videos with someone you know who may be interested in this type of genre. With that, be safe, and I'll see you in the next one. Later!